Hello, viewers. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. This is MD Saiful Islam, an assistant teacher of Regional High School of Nogan District of Bangladesh. And you are most welcome in my Saiful English Academy and Raisa English Coaching Home. Hope that you are very fine by the grace of Almighty Allah. And Alhamdulillah, I am my dear learners, today's class have been present in front of you with you with a new argument, a new class named primary auxiliary versus module auxiliary with the reference of my previous classes. Of course, so you know that, my dear learners, various kinds of class already have been uploaded in my YouTube channels. My dear learners, if you don't watch my video classes, please you may watch my previous video classes. My dear learners, in my previous classes, you were told that, my dear learners, various kinds what's past surface, classification of first surface, what's noun, classification of noun, what's the adjective, classification of adjective, what's a verb, classification of verb, and among various kinds of verb. Already nucleus about discussion of verb, especially auxiliary verb, have been already published and uploaded in my YouTube channels. And with the reference of my previous classes, previous class have been present in front of you with a new argument and new class named primary auxiliary versus modal auxiliary. In my previous class, my dear learners, you were told that, my dear learners, what's past surface? You were told that, my dear learners, if we want to define first surface, we want to say that about the definition of first surface, that various kinds of words used in a sentence according to their functions are called first surface. And you were told that, my dear learners, classification of first surface. You were told that, my dear learners, we can classify philosophies into eight categories. Eight categories, such as noun, number two, pronoun, number three, adjective, number four, verb, number five, adverb, number six, preposition, number seven, conjunction, and number eight, interjection. Of course, you know that, my dear learners. You are also told that, my dear learners, definition and classification of noun. You are also told that, my dear learners, definition and classification of adjective. And you are also told that, my dear learners, definition of a verb. You are told that, my dear learners, a verb is a word which denotes having, being, or doing something, referred by this dress. You are also told that about different kinds of classification of verb. About your auxiliary verb, you are told that, my dear learners, auxiliary verb means helping verb or to be verb. Helping verb or to be verb. You are told that about the definition of and auxiliary verb. You are told that, my dear learners, an auxiliary verb is a verb which helps or supports a principal verb in a sentence to form a mood, a tense, or voice. And you are also told that, my dear learners, an auxiliary verb is classified into two as primary auxiliary and module auxiliary. About your primary auxiliary, you are told that, my dear learners, primary auxiliary verb is an auxiliary verb which works as a principal verb and an auxiliary verb in a sentence at a time. Of course, you know that, my dear learners. You are also told that about modal auxiliary. You are told that, my dear learners, modal auxiliary verb is an auxiliary verb which can express and the meanings of a sentence without the help of a principal verb. Of course, you know that, my dear learners. You are also told that, my dear learners, there are 13 categories of modal auxiliaries such as can, could, may, might, shall, should, will, would, must, need, dare, ought to, used to, Mindfulness. You also told that mindfulness. There are 11 categories of primary auxiliary, and in these 11 categories of primary auxiliary, we can classify into three ways. Number one, be verb, be verb. There are five auxiliary verbs named am, is, or was, or. These five categories of auxiliary verb are called be verb. Of course, you know that. And do, does, did. And these three categories of auxiliary verb are called do verb and have, has, had. These three categories of auxiliary verb are called have verb. And in the reference of my previous classes, those classes have been present in front of you with the new arguments and new class named primary auxiliary versus modal auxiliary. To make you understand so well about primary auxiliary verb versus a modal auxiliary, my dear learners, I have written a few examples in the board. So, my dear learners, take a look at the board and try to understand. At first, think about modal auxiliary. Modal auxiliary. My dear learners, at the time of making understand about the definition of modal auxiliary, you also told that, my dear learners, modal auxiliary verb is an auxiliary verb which can to express the meaning of a sentence without the help of a principal verb. Think about first sentence, my dear learners. I have written we can speak in English. In this sentence, can, modal, auxiliary, and speak, of course, principal verb. If we delete principal verb speak, and the meaning of this sentence can never be expressed. So, my dear learners, what the result? We can in English. We can in English. And now, my question to you: think about this sentence. So, what's the meaning? Hope that there is no any meaning of this sentence. We can in speak English. Hope that you have understood clearly. My dear learners, think about next example. You must obey the parents. In this sentence, modal auxiliary verb, of course, must, and principal verb obey. And if you delete your principal verb obey, there is no one expression of this sentence. You must the parents. So, my dear learners, hope that you have understood clearly. Think about third example, my dear learners. We should respect the teacher. In this sentence, modal auxiliary should and principal verb be we. Next example, think about, my dear learners. Next example, modal auxiliary will and principal verb learn. And think about example number five. In this sentence, modal auxiliary could and principal verb read. And from this five categories of sentence, if we delete principal verb speak, away, respect, learn, and read, you can't be get the result of express the meaning of these five categories of sentence. So, my dear learners, in this sense, we can say that, my dear learners, these categories of auxiliary verbs such as can, could, may, shall, should, will, must, dare, or to used to. Of course, modal auxiliary of the Torah you have understood clearly. Now, my dear learners, think about primary auxiliary. At the time of making understanding about the definition of primary auxiliary verb, you told that, my dear learners, a primary auxiliary verb is a verb which works as like as a principal verb and auxiliary verb in a sentence at a time. Of course, you know that, my dear learners. I have written six example, my dear learners. Think about one and two. Example number one, my dear learners, try to comprehend. I have a smartphone. I have a smartphone. Underline have. And next example, I have bought a smartphone. Okay, my dear learners. Now think about these two categories of sentence. First, in first sentence, have is working as a principal verb, but in second sentence, have is working as auxiliary verb. Of the two, you have understood clearly. My dear learners, think about example number 3 and 4. Example number 3, I have written, I am an English teacher. I am an English teacher. And example number 4, I have written, I am teaching you English. In these two categories of sentence, my dear learners, try to think about different. Example number 3, in example number 3, am is working as principal verb, but in example number 4, am is working as an auxiliary verb. Hope that you have understood clearly. My dear learners, next two categories of example I have written. Swipe is a good boy. Swipe is a good boy. And next example, Swipe is learning English. Similarly, as before, my dear learners, think about display. In example number 5, is working as a principal verb, but example number 6 is working as an auxiliary verb. Hope that you have understood clearly. My dear learners, hope that I have made you understand clearly about the title primary auxiliary versus model auxiliary. My dear learners, I don't want to learn in today's class, but I want to share some information with you, my dear learners. Of course, you know that I'm a new teacher in YouTube channel, and though I'm being a GC by birth, but I'm trying to use English conversation at the time of making my various kinds of video class. So, my dear learners, if you notice any faults or mistakes in the midst of my video classes, please excuse me and pray to or material so that I can help you. I can co-afford you in this way through my video classes throughout my life. So, my dear learners, no more today. Come to see you again with a new not a new class. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.